All right, it's been at least a few minutes, so we're going to return to 1911 and have Ernie call this game. But just wanted to let people know that version 6.0 of Baseball for Windows is out, and I know people are going to ask me if I bought it, and I haven't. And here's why: I will probably down the road buy it, but really the updates that they list for Baseball for Windows 6.0 really deal with after the baseball eras periods that I play. So I don't play any 21st century baseball. So I really don't care about 21st century pitcher recovery. I don't care about the ghost runner rule, things like that. So baseball for Windows 6.0. Again, I will buy down the line when I'm flush for some extra cash. I think it would have been nice for, I realize John Hurston has to make some money, so I wouldn't ask, but for this to be a free upgrade, but it's not a significant upgrade, I'm afraid to say. It's not. What would really be nice is if Apple would go for its original plan before they updated 5.75 is to get another broadcaster. I realize that costs a lot of money. And I doubt that John Hurston and company want to try the AI route. That's pretty cost prohibitive. That's one thing that Marcus Heinsohn is waiting for, a really good AI voice trainer to implement that into out of the park baseball. Once that happens in out of the park baseball, that will just be insane. And he has said on at least a couple occasions that once they can find something that is workable, that is affordable, they're going to jump right on it. And I've been predicting that that'll be the company to do it. Until then, there's only one that has done it, and that's Appa. But, I looked over the changes for 6.0, and I can't justify it. I'm not going to play, 2021 baseball on here, not on this program. This is for playing older baseball, and I have every season from 1871 to 1997. And I have other games in which I have every season of baseball. And in those games, I'm not playing 2021 baseball or 2022 baseball. So I haven't seen any upgrades and, that would really benefit existing owners. Now, if he would offer that as maybe a little bit of a discounted price to existing owners, Mr. Hurston, I would definitely be on board, and I think that'd be a great way to some brand loyalty. But I'm basically buying the same game all over again. Now, granted, because I'm an old-timey owner of Baseball for Windows and have an earlier version and the Fan Park Encyclopedia, I can create seasons or create projects, whatever I want, and can move them forward into 6.0, which that's really nice. So hats off to Appa for doing that. Again, Appa could have chosen when they upgraded to 5.75 to absolutely not allow any migration at all. So they did, and they do. Anything you make in 5.75 is not backwards compatible, and that's the same, or in 6.0 is not backwards compatible to 5.75, and I certainly see where John Hurston is coming from in that, because a few people could get 6.0 and all of a sudden, create whatever. And so we don't want that, certainly. But so I know it will come as a surprise for those of you that want to play newer baseball. I will just say this, for obvious reasons, the Ernie Harwell, Ernie is not going to be, as you get further and further away from 1997 to now, he's going to say, you're going to hear fewer and fewer names. And of course, obviously, one of the strengths of this game is its AI, not only the AI from Ernie Harwell, but the crowd as well being reactive, the nice little touches of having Tommy Walton in there doing the singing, things like that. All awesome. But $30 I think is a good intro price, a good entry price for people that have never owned baseball for Windows. Dan Burke, here he goes. So he has, Dan Burke, my favorite Irishman, says he has ordered 6.0. Again, Dan, I applaud you. I will down the line. I'm not really interested in playing 21st century baseball in this game. I can play it on a ton of others. And to hear Ernie say, he's not going to say Shohei Ohtani for obvious reasons. So to hear him say, "Oh, takes the mound," it just, to me, would be a little bit jarring. I also get that John Hurston wouldn't bring back something like the Encyclopedia Import. In fact, I have that, and that the only way that goes away is it doesn't. I've seen it occasionally for sale on eBay, and it goes for a pretty penny. And I'm keeping it. It's allowed me to create projects that APA has never released. But I'm glad, Dan, that you bought it. I will down the line. But I'm really, really hoping, one thing John Hurston maybe could do, rather than have maybe a known name like John Miller or whatever, because that could be cost prohibitive, why not get a good minor league announcer? Maybe get somebody who's going into broadcasting school, just a good voice, have this person, and I will say him, could be a her, but a him, just do what Ernie Harwell did. And, I used to say here that Ernie said every last name, in Total Baseball or whatever, up to that point. Well, actually, he did every first name and every nickname. Not only listening to this, but doing a little bit more of the deep dive research. You'll see that. And I think that I really, really think that and I'll tell you, if John Hurston would get somebody, and he wouldn't even have to do everything pre-1997, have this announcer start from 1998 to now, I would, and if John Hurston said $50 price tag, I'd be first in line to buy it. I really, really, really would. Yeah, Dan, as let me know if you notice any sort of neat upgrades when you do get it, and I hope it does show up soon. When you do get it, if there's been any upgrades as far as maybe with seasons that you and I already own. Yeah, it's just for $30. It's kind of hard when granted, I'm paying $50 now every year for Out of the Park Baseball, but Out of the Park Baseball does significant upgrades every year. Action PC is touch and go. One year, Dave Cook seems to do an amazing mountain of updates, and then next year's kind of, incremental, but, I still buy it. But this one really caters, I think, Baseball for Windows 6.0. The updates do seem to cater to 21st century baseball. And down here, I can click this icon and I can play Action PC Baseball, all the 21st century baseball I want to play. Click on Steam and play Out of the Park Baseball, Pure Sim Baseball, Strategy Baseball, Dombrov Baseball. I've got a ton of 21st century baseball that I can play. But in this one, I'm kind of just happy with what 5.75 is, unless there's some major improvements to roster management and things like that. I'm going to wait. It'll probably be a Christmas time purchase. So Dan also says, I'll let you know. Want more commentary? Yep. Like Diamond Mine. Yep. Maybe card images or stats automatically showing instead of clicking on the player. That would be brilliant. So Dan, if John Hurston would make even that, then I would do it. I would buy it. But it's still, it's, and I think it's a great idea. Now, I don't know. I mean, not that John Hurston ever listens to my channel or anybody like that. I do know that Gilles Thibault, though, is a subscriber to this channel, and Gilles is very close with John Hurston. And I'm not slamming the game. In fact, I'm very happy. I was sort of bemoaning the fact that John Hurston had said in an interview at one time, he said, well, we're still supporting Baseball for Windows, but why do anything more significant when people are putting files out there? And he does have a point, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, Mr. Herson, in the respect that because there hasn't been a lot of development or a lot of support for the game, overt support, just incremental patches up until the release of 6.0. I think a nice thing that you've done is you can now get the ballparks, as long as you specify in the order. I just bought a couple ballparks for this the other night. I realized I didn't have Three River Stadium. I didn't have a good I didn't have a good Yankee Stadium that I could use in the 1920s, 30s, whatever. So when I'm playing the like if I was playing a season, say, 1949, I have a 1949 replay that I'm doing on Baseball for Windows. I've done in the past in the channel. And I really felt like it broke the immersion to use the Yankee Stadium after 1975, after all the renovations, whatever year they did that. And so this Yankee Stadium now would work really well. What I wish Apple would do, they're going to continue to charge for seasons, and that is absolutely fine. But, and I think you guys know this is coming. All right, Action PC Baseball, all I've got to do is pop in a JPEG that I like, and I've got gigabytes and gigabytes worth, not as much as Steve Tate, but gigabytes and gigabytes worth of ballparks for Action PC. All I've got to do is move the players around. Thanks to the great work of Mike Silva and other modders in the Out of the Park community, ballparks. I mean, at this point, what I would like to see, and I would pay the full, I'd pay the $30, I'd pay $40. If John could somehow, if Mr. Herson would somehow say, okay, guys, guess what? Ballparks, now because what they are DIB files. Okay, here's what we're going to do. The ballparks are there. Just convert whatever JPEG you have to a BMP, rename it to a DIB file, and that. I have tried making my own ballparks in Baseball for Windows, and it's like, guys, I turned down 2 free ride PhDs. I have a master's degree. I'm not stupid. I'm not trying to put myself up here as Einstein or anything like that, but making ballparks for Baseball for Windows is a nightmare. And so, I buy it. I get it. It's a little bit more income for APBA. But I don't know. I would like to see the ballparks free. Diamond Mine Baseball. I realize there's some really nice mods for that. Ballparks for Diamond Mine Baseball. If you don't want to just go with that plain sort of green look, and here's Diamond Mine, who's really a company that's kind of just staying in kind of this sort of maintenance mode. And this is not a bitch session about APBA. Just the community knows how much I love this game, and I do. I love it to death. I know Dan is a big, big fan. He's agreeing. He says, yeah, make it easier to add stadiums like Action PC. That's one of Action PC's, besides it being a pretty damn good baseball engine. I can take a ballpark and just put it in there and just adjust the player positions and go. So just some suggestions. But until I hear about any significant upgrades to, let's say, things that I could do with this 1911 replay that I'm doing, or the 1949, or some of the other projects I've created, I'm gonna wait. I am gonna buy it, but I have some other purchases I want to make first for, my sleight of hand act and stuff like that, and other baseball. I'll be buying Action PC Baseball again this December. I'm going to wait, but I will buy it to support APBA. But right now, there's no benefit to me in the time period of baseball that I play. If you do play post Ernie Harwell voice, so post 1997, I think it's a great update. I think it's great to add 4 players that want that. The Ghost Runner and extra innings, the 21st century pitcher recovery rules for AIM. I think that's fantastic. I really do. And so thank you to John Herson for finally coming out with an update again for APA. The only thing is usually when you see a number something 0.0, that usually signifies a major release. Usually that's kind of like the gaming thing that goes on. And just one example, one of Diablo 4's big updates last year was called Loot 2.0, and it completely transformed the game. I think, again, maybe I'm being too nitpicky here. I think if you would have called it Baseball for Windows 5.95, that would have been nice. 6.0 to me says you can do ballparks. We've got a narrator. We've improved things all the way across the board. So for those of you who've been playing Baseball for Windows, I bought this game in 1995. So for those of you who've been playing since the beginning and you still have your Fan Park Encyclopedia around, we've really done some things as well to benefit you. So Dan, awesome that you picked it up. All right, I wouldn't call tonight's matchup marquee, but I do want to try to showcase every team at least once, and then after we've pretty much covered everybody, which after tonight's game we're going to start honing in on the more top tier teams in this 1911 replay, so that people get a better sense of New York Giants and the Philadelphia Athletics, and teams coming into ascendancy and teams starting to fall from the top of their game, such as the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is the 1910s were basically a decade of decline. I mean, Hannes Wagner's still very powerful in 1911, but in decline. Rube Waddell's still pitching. He dies in 1914 on April 1st. But you start to see the ascendancy in this decade again of the White Sox. You still have powerful Giants teams. This is, the Athletics. This is the second year of the $100,000 infield. So we're not going to be spending a lot of time after tonight's broadcast. You'll see them playing the more powerhouse teams, but you're not going to see a lot of the St. Louis Browns. You're not going to see a lot of the St. Louis Cardinals just because they weren't good in the dead ball era. There's just no sugarcoating it. The Cardinals, the most successful franchise in the National League and the second most successful franchise in baseball, comes into its own in 1926. Gets to its first World Series and wins it. And the sharp-eyed among you will notice that in the other thing that I'm doing, which is the OFAS4, or not that, in my I'm sorry, in my McGraw League on Out of the Park Baseball, you'll notice that the St. Louis Cardinals are not represented because they really didn't have a team that could stand up to other squads in the National League, like the 1905 Giants, the 1909 Pirates, the 1906 Cubs, 1897 Bean Eaters, on and on and on. They would have just gotten, pardon the expression, bitch slapped all over the place. All right, so with that being said, tonight we are going to have the St. Louis Browns visiting the Chicago White Sox. I'm going to go ahead and mute the mic because the crowd's going to start making noise here on Baseball for Windows almost immediately. So again, the sharp-eyed among you, those of you who play Baseball for Windows, know that it comes with quite a few micromanagers. There's a lot you can download online, ones you can purchase from APA. I've just found that one of the default managers, Johnny McCoy, though he's supposed to be a 1930s manager, he does well with dead ball. So I usually just put McCoy against McCoy to keep it an even fun game. But last bit before I get back onto mute is check out Digital Skybox. There are literally thousands of micromanagers for this game, and APA kindly has a utility in 5.75 and 6.0. I do know that, for the way to bring in fan managers. So again, APA is still doing a lot of good for its community. But please, Mr. Herson, think about the ballpark issue, if you would. That would be, even if you can't afford to hire somebody else to pick up where Ernie Harwell left off, how about the ballparks? What do you say? And also, Dan's great suggestion. How about having some stats in the field? I think that would be great, and I don't see that would be really hard. All right. It is just about game time here. There's the voice of Tommy Walton. All right, guys, enjoy the game. Robert joining us. He said, thought you'd say hello and say, well, man, I have been, get back to where it once belonged. Yeah, the Mets doing it. Just been so busy, Robert, working 8 hours a day and then working on Magic at night. So trying to find that balance. All right, here we go, guys. Enjoy the game.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Harwell, bringing you Chicago White Sox baseball. Here on WAPBA, you always have a front row seat. We're coming to you from out here at the park. Today, the visiting St. Louis Browns will test the White Sox at home.
It's opening day. The sounds of practice are stilled. The mitts are oiled, and another season begins. Game number 1 of 3 here in Chicago.
The White Sox take the field here in the first. Defensively for Chicago. Collins at first base. McConnell at second. Tannehill, the shortstop. Lord at third. The outfield consists of Callahan in left field, Bodie in center field, and McIntyre over in right. Sullivan is behind the plate, and on the mound for the White Sox, the right-handed Walsh. It can be tough to make contact off him. He will be facing Browns starter, right-hander Howell. So settle in. We're ready to start this game. To get it going for the Browns, here, Schweitzer. Not in there for his bat. Pitcher Walsh eyeing Schweitzer. Now he's ready. The pitch. Swung on. It's popped foul behind third. Lord is drifting back. He's under it. And makes the catch. One away. St. Louis now sends Shotton to bat. Bert will hurt you. Walsh poised. The pitch. Grounded toward Tannehill. He feels it. Takes his time. Throws over to Collins. And Shotton is gone. And that's the second out. Laporte walking up the bat. Frank can be dangerous. Sullivan crouched down now. And now the pitch. It's a long fly ball to center field. That could be trouble. Bodie is racing to the track. He won't get it. It's high off the wall. Laporte hits second on the full steam, and he puts on the brakes. With 2 outs, he'll hold up. Double for Laporte. 2 down. Laporte on second for St. Louis. Here's Austin. He can surprise you at the plate. Laporte has the wheels at second. Walsh prepares to come home. Laporte stretches his lead off second. The pitch popped high to the right side. Drifting foul. Collins is backing up. Second baseman McConnell is racing over. He's calling him off and makes the running catch. That's 3 away. For the Browns, no runs on 1 hit. They leave 1. They waste the base runner. Browns, nothing. White Sox coming up. For the Browns take the field here in the first. Defensively for St. Louis. Black at first base. Laporte at second. Wallace, the shortstop. Austin at third. The trio in the outfield. In left, it's Compton. In center, Shotton. And over in right, Schweitzer. Clark is behind the plate. And the St. Louis mound artist, the righty, Howell. Here's McIntyre to start it off. Hits for average. McIntyre waits. Howell staring in, ready to work. The delivery from Howell. It's a shot to left center. That's a base hit. McIntyre grounds first. Shotton takes it on the long bounce to throw to second. Then McIntyre holds with a single. Here comes Collins to take his cuts. You can't afford to take him too lightly. McIntyre at first has wings. Collins ready. Howell looking in at the target. And McIntyre takes off. He brings it home. Collins lines 1 deep to right. That'll be good for extra bases. Schweitzer's after it. It's off the wall, and it gets by him. McIntyre rounds third. He will score. Collins heading for third. They're waving him home. A short relay, and he's out on a close play. His ambition outran his feet. Scored that a triple. 1 down. So a run scores on Collins' first triple, and the White Sox go ahead by a run, 1-0 here in the first. Lord is now up. Known to whack that ball pretty well. Pitcher Powell set to go. He comes home. Swung on, popped foul behind first. Laporte's racing over, waves off Black, and he gloves it. Notch 2. Two outs. First inning, Bodie is out to get his licks. He bats right. He's their cleanup hitter. You can count on Ping. In the box now. Howell is ready to fire it in. The pitch. Blooper to left center toward the gap. Shotton runs in on it. Wallace is backing up. It drops in, and Bodie is on at first with a base hit. One on, the bottom of the first inning. We have Callahan, the bat for the White Sox. You can count on Nixie. Howell prepares to come home. Space on the right. Bodie leading off. Now he throws to first, and Bodie gets back. Not his best move. Now Powell is back on the rubber. Now the pitch. Callahan shoots it toward short. Wallace stops it on the first hop, flips it to Laporte, and that retires the side. For the White Sox, a run on 3 hits. 1 left, and they go ahead in the game. White Sox up 1-0. Compton, Wallace, and Clark due up for St. Louis. Compton to lead it off for the Browns. Left side batter. You can't afford to take him too lightly. Compton steps in. Catcher Sullivan sets his target. The pitch. Bounced up the middle. McConnell's racing over. He's got it. Spins, fires to first. Not in time. And they're giving him the base hit. Wallace walking up the bat. Wallace, not a threat for average. Compton has legs, but he doesn't use them that often. Wallace in the box. Walsh looking home. Walsh rocks and fires. It's back to him at the mound. Walsh turns and throws to second in time for the out. And Wallace is on the fielder's choice. That's out number one. Clark, the hit toward St. Louis. Wallace on first, one down. Let's see if he can outperform his advance billing. Wallace can hightail it. Nig ready. Sullivan ready to receive. The offering. And it gets by Sullivan. Wallace moves into scoring position. And they score that a wild pitch. Clark back in the box. Walsh climbs the mound. Right-handed Walsh goes to the set position. Here's the pitch. Clark flips a rain bringer, twisting down the line. Not too deep. McIntyre is after it, tracks it near the right field stripe, and he grabs it for the out. Wallace is tagging. McIntyre sets, but they'll hold him there as the throw comes in. One on, we have right-handed Black to bat for the Browns. Let's see if he can outperform his advance billing. He stands in. Pitcher Walsh eyeing Black. Now he's ready. The pitch. Black pops a little fly. Back of second. Bodie coming on. And makes the catch in front of Tannehill. Side retired. That'll do it for St. Louis. No runs on one hit. They leave one. They had a chance but could not convert. The score still 1-0. White Sox leading. The White Sox will have McConnell, Tannehill, and Sullivan here in the second. McConnell will get it started for the White Sox. Left side batter. He has the talent to do some damage. McConnell takes his stance. Howell looking home. The pitch. Bounced up the middle. Laporte's racing over. He's got it. Spins, fires to first. Not in time. And they're giving him the base hit. Here's Tannehill toward Chicago. McConnell on first. Nobody out. Lee has been a reliable hitter. Howell wants to pin McConnell to first. Batter waits. Clark crouched down now. First baseman Black holding the runner on. He lets one go. Wrapped back to the mound. Howell knocks it down. Picks it up. Throws quickly. Out at first. McConnell moves to second on the play. One down. One gone. Second inning. One on. Sullivan for the hit. An unlikely hero. Catcher ready. Howell working on McConnell to hold him close. Howell rocks and fires. Swung on. Slow roller beyond the mound. Wallace charges in. He scoops it up. Fires to Black for the second out. And McConnell moves to third. 2 outs. Second inning. One on. Pitcher Walsh up. Ed taking his first at bat of the season. He stands in. Howell looking in at the target. McConnell into a little shuffle at third, and the pitch comes in. Walsh lays off the pitch. Ball 4. Ed takes his base, and there are runners at the corner. That was Walsh's first walk of the season. 2 on, the bottom of the second inning. The next White Sox batter is McIntyre. He's a left-handed batter. We're back at the top of the order. Howell now set. McConnell with a head fake at third. The pitch. Easy bounce out of Laporte. He feels it. Over to Wallace, covering second. For out number 3. That'll do it for Chicago. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. 2 left. So the White Sox failed to cash in on the 2 runners. After 2, it's still 1-0 White Sox. Howell, Schweitzer, and Schotten to bat next. Pitcher Howell to lead it off. Jack taking his first at bat of the season. Walsh will go to work on him. And a pitch. He pops him up back at second. McConnell settles under it. He has it. 1 down. The next Browns batter is Schweitzer. Schweitzer stands in. Walsh gets set to pitch. Walsh brings it. Slow bounder up the middle. Tannehill is over. Good bounce. The throw to first. Bounces in the dirt. Collins scoops it. Too late. Schotten getting ready to go. Schweitzer at first has wings. Pitcher Walsh set to go. Schweitzer bluffs going. He brings it home. Grounded deep into the hole. Tannehill is over. He's got it. The long throw to first. And that's the second out. Schweitzer moves up. One on. Laporte gets set to bat against Walsh. Walsh is ready to fire it in. Speedy Schweitzer edging toward third. The offering from Walsh. Fastball. High. Free pass to Laporte. And the ump gives him first. Setting up the force. That was Laporte's first walk of the season. 2 on, the top of the third inning. Austin gets set to bat against Walsh. The switch hitter will go to the first base side of the box. Austin gets in there. Walsh climbs the mound. Eyes narrow as he peers in for the sign. Walsh comes set. He breathes deeply. Exhales. Walsh spins and fires to second. The tag. He's back. Now Walsh is set again. Walsh comes home. Way outside. Ball 1. Austin back in the box. Walsh foot on the rubber. Poker faced as he gets Sullivan sign. Checks the runners. The runners take their lead. He brings it in. Slow chopper toward Tannehill. He charges it. Scoops it. Goes to first. For the out. For the Browns. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. 2 left. They waste a good chance. The score is still 1-0 Chicago as we go to the bottom of the third inning. And here comes the artillery for Chicago. Collins, Lord, and Bodie. Collins leading it off. Collins gets in there. Pitcher Powell eyeing Collins. Now he's ready. To the plate. Collins swings, and it's lined to center field. Base hit. Schotten's in, fields it cleanly. Collins holds first for the single. Second hit for Collins in the game. Here comes Lord to take his cuts. A rabbit on first. Batter waits. Right-hander Powell ready. There goes Collins. Powell deals. Lord goes the opposite way. Grounded deep into the hole. Left side. Nobody there. Base hit. Shortstop Wallace was at second base, and the ball went right through the vacated spot. Collins moves easily to third, and Lord is on with a controlled single. Wallace couldn't reverse his direction in time. All right, runners at the corners, no outs. Next up, Bodie. He's their cleanup hitter. He almost always puts the ball into play. Powell sets up on the rubber again. Checks the runners. Infield back at double play depth. The runners take their lead. The pitch is on the way. Chopper in front of the plate. Clark charges out. And he boots it. Collins is headed home. He'll score. No play anywhere. Lord hustles over to third, and Bodie is on at first. Score that an error on Clark. And the White Sox now lead 2-0. No outs, third inning, 2 on. We have Callahan coming up to hit. He almost always puts the ball into play. Powell gets set to pitch. Infield deep. Powell watching Lord at third. The delivery from Powell. Easy bounce out of the port. He's up with it. Throws to second for 1. Out. Back to first for 2. Not in time. Callahan beats it out, and a run scores. Laporte did not handle that ball quickly. And Chicago increases its lead. It's now 3-0 ball game. All right, here's left-handed McConnell to take his swing toward Chicago. Callahan on at first, 1 out. Pitcher Powell eyeing McConnell. Now he's ready. There goes Callahan. Here's the pitch. He goes the other way. Lined over third. Foul. Strike 1. So McConnell steps back in. Clark crouched down now. They start the runner. Powell brings it. It's a shot to left center. Compton is racing to the gap. He's under it. And he pulls it in. 2 away. Callahan scampers back to first. Tannehill is the next hitter. Lee steps up. Clark sets up. The offering from Powell. Easy bounce out of the port. He's up with it. Over to Wallace, covering second. In time. Side retired. For the White Sox, 2 runs on 2 hits. The Browns fumble once, so the White Sox now with a safer margin. The score now stands 3-0 White Sox. Compton, Wallace, and Clark to bat next. To get it going, Compton. Compton steps in. Sullivan set. The pitch. Scorched back through the box. It caroms off his leg. Tannehill charges over. Bang, bang, play at first. Compton beats it out. Second hit for Compton in the game. Toward St. Louis. Compton on first. No outs. Wallace is stepping up to hit against Walsh. He's a right-handed batter. Right-hander Walsh ready. Compton is off for the pitch. Here's the pitch. Hard ground ball behind first. Collins knocks it down, but he'll have no play. And both runners are safe. Scored that a single. Compton at second. Wallace at first. Nobody out. Clark walks up. Clark steadies his bat. Pitcher Walsh set to go. He comes home. Skied high to the left side. Tannehill is drifting back. He's under it. Infield fly called. And he makes the catch. And the runners hold. Here's Black to take his swings. Compton at second. Wallace at first. One gone. Black steps in. Sullivan ready to receive. The runners take their lead. And the pitch hit hard toward the gap in right center. And it drops. Compton is rounding third. Digging. He'll score. Wallace will make third. The throw into second. And Black holds at first. RBI single. So the single drives in one. The Browns are on the board. They are within two. Score 3-1. The Browns have one down. Runners at the corners. The top of the fourth inning. Howell now walks out to bat. In the box now. Walsh poised. Infield looking for the bunt. Wallace down the line some at third. Walsh cranks it up. Swung on. Bouncer to McConnell. Goes to second for one. Back to first for two. In time. A double play. And they get out of the inning. For the Browns, a run on three. Hits. No errors. One left. They score, but still trail by two. We've played 3.5. White Sox with the edge, 3-1. For Chicago, here in the fourth, Sullivan, Walsh, and McIntyre. Sullivan will get it started for the White Sox. Right-handed hitter to face Howell. Howell will go to work on him. Howell winds up. Breaking ball, grounded hard to Austin. It's off his glove, but he recovers and throws quickly, and he's out. One down. Now at bat, Walsh. Howell looking in at the target. Howell into his motion. Delivers. Walsh tries to push a bunt, but Howell is able to reach it. Shovels to Black, hustling back, and that's all for Walsh. McIntyre is the next hitter. McIntyre gets in there. Right-hander Howell ready. The delivery. Line drive base hit to right. Schweitzer fields it and throws it to second. A clean single for McIntyre. Matty with his second hit in this game. Next batter, Collins. Right-hander Howell ready. They're holding McIntyre. But he's well off the bag. Howell brings it home just off the plate. And he issues a free pass. And there's a runner in scoring position. That was Collins' first walk of the season. 2 on, the bottom of the fourth inning. It's now Lord the bat. Right-handed Howell goes to the set position. Howell kicks and delivers. High fly ball to left. Compton moves under it and waits. Steps back, and he makes the catch. That'll do it for Chicago. No runs on one hit. 2 left. After 4, it's still 3-1 White Sox. St. Louis now will send out the top of the order. Schweitzer, Schotten, and Laporte. To get it going for the Browns. Here, Schweitzer. Walsh prepared to work. The pitch. High fly, left center. Bodie is on his horse. He'll get there, and does. 1 down. Schotten getting ready to go. Right-handed Walsh goes to the set position. And now the pitch. shot and skies it to center. Should be an easy play. Bodie roams over for it and records the putout. 2 down. Two gone. Laporte up the bat. Laporte has a hit and a walk in 2 trips. Laporte relaxes himself at the plate. Walsh staring in, ready to work. Walsh comes home. Fly ball center field. Bodie roams back. Plenty of room. And he brings it down. 3 away. No runs, no hits, no errors. Midway through the 5th. After 4.5, it's still 3-1 White Sox. Bodie, Callahan, and McConnell to bat next. Bodie will get it started for the White Sox. King is a tough out. Batter facing Howell. Now Howell ready. Howell comes to him. Bodie hits a comeback. Howell knocks it down, barehands it, and throws to first. A photo finish, and the ump calls Bodie out. One away. It's now Callahan the bat. He swings from the right side. He has the talent to do some damage. Chicago starter Walsh pitching tough, but the White Sox could use a little insurance. Batter waits. Howell prepares to come home. The pitch. Callahan smashes one down the line. Austin grabs it near the bag. He wings a long throw to first and gets Callahan by a stride. And that's out number 2. McConnell coming up. McConnell has a hit and 2 at-bats. McConnell ready. Right-hander Howell ready. Howell into his motion. Delivers. Hot shot to the right side. Laporte to his left. Tipped off his glove. He has it. Throws quickly to first. Too late. And they give McConnell the hit. Second. Safety for McConnell. Right-handed batter Tannehill steps up to face Howell for Chicago. 2 gone. 1 on. Lee 0 for 2. He stands in. Pitcher Howell eyeing Tannehill. Now he's ready. First baseman Black perched right in front of the bag. Here's the delivery. Punch to left. It drops in safely. Compton collects the ball. McConnell is around second. But the third base coach has his arms in the air, and they hold McConnell up as the throw comes in. The White Sox put 2 singles back-to-back. Two on, first and second. 2 away, the bottom of the 5th inning. Sullivan is out to take his hacks, and he hacks from the right. Billy does not get extra base hits. Right-hander Howell ready. He brings it in. Ground ball to Black. He scoops it up. Steps on first. Side retired. The half for the White Sox. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2. The score still 3-1. White Sox leading. Austin, Compton, and Wallace to bat next. Austin will start it off here in the 6th. Pitcher Walsh set to go. The pitch. Hard 2 bouncer to short. Tannehill covers it plenty of time. Fires. 1 away. Compton to face Walsh. Batter set. Sullivan sets up. The pitch. On the hand, Compton flicks it to right. McConnell might have a play. Racing back for it, but it falls in just out of reach, and Compton is aboard with a single. That's Compton's 3rd hit of the game. Wallace steps up to face Walsh. One out. Runner on first for St. Louis. Wallace has a hit and 2 at-bats. Walsh prepared to work. Walsh deals. Swung on. Stroked solidly to left field. It drops in front of Callahan. He feels it. Compton around second. But the third base coach is on the job, and they hold Compton up as the throw comes in. A pair of singles for St. Louis. The tying run is on. Second hit for Wallace in the game. For St. Louis, runners at first and second. One away. Clark's up. Nig does not get extra base hits. Walsh on the rubber. Walsh staring in. Ready to work. A little glistening on his upper lip. The runners take their lead. Now Walsh pitches. Grounded hard to short. Could be 2. Tannehill fields it. Flips to McConnell at second. Over to first. They turn it. A double play. And they get out of the inning. That'll do it for St. Louis. Nothing across. One left. They had a chance but could not convert. After 5.5, it's still 3-1. White Sox. Walsh, McIntyre, then Collins due up for Chicago. Here's Walsh to start it off. Walsh steps in. Howell looking in. He lets one go. Walsh pops it up behind the plate. Clark moves under it and hauls it in. One away. McIntyre is up next. He is dangerous. The batter stands in. Clark sets up. The pitch. Just over the knees. The plate up. Thumbs him out. 2 down. Two down, 6th inning. Collins is stepping up to hit against Howell. He's a right-handed batter. Collins, perfect in 3 trips, 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 RBI. And he scored once. Howell looking home. He delivers. In the dirt, but Collins couldn't hold up. Strike 3. He really went fishing. Side retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and at the end of 6, White Sox up 3-1. The Browns will have Black, Howell, and Schweitzer here in the 7th. Black leading it off. Sullivan ready to receive. Walsh to the wind. A whiff, 1 down. One out, 7th inning. Next up, pitcher Howell. Right-hander Walsh ready. The offering. He goes the other way. Slashed into the hole. Base hit. And Howell holds with a single. Here's the right-handed Schweitzer to take his swings. Howell down at first. 1 out. Schweitzer 1 for 3. Catcher ready. Walsh comes home. High, and Howell is off the bag. Sullivan pumps, but he holds the wall. Ball 1. Schweitzer stands in again. Walsh prepares to come home. Walsh brings it home. Swung on. It's a number to the left of the mound. Walsh scoops it up, fires to second. Then he gets him. And Schweitzer is on at first. And they are now 2 away. For St. Louis. 2 outs, 1 on. St. Louis now sends Shotton to bat, hitting from the left side. Hitting second. He'll take advantage of your mistakes. Walsh gets set to work on him. Walsh comes to him. One hopper back to the mound. Walsh up with it. Throws to first to retire the side. The half for the Browns. No runs on one hit. They leave one. After 6.5, it's still 3-1.
White Sox.
Okay, folks, on your feet. Take a break for the 7th inning stretch. St. Louis will now face the heart of the
White Sox.
lineup. Lord, Bodie, and Callahan coming up. To get it going, Lord. Pretty good with a stick. Lord waiting. Pitcher Howell eyeing Lord. Now he's ready. And now the pitch. Lord lifts a lazy pop fly. Should be no problem from the port. And he snags it for the out. One down. Next batter, Bodie. A sure hitter. Clark set. Here's a pitch. Bodie hits a comebacker. Howell knocks it down. Barehands it and throws to first. Close play. And the ump calls Bodie out. Two away, 7th inning. Next up, Callahan. Nixie, 0 for 3. 1 RBI. Now Powell ready. The pitch. Off-balance swing. It's skied in foul territory. Clark moves under it. He has it measured and makes the catch. 3 away. So the
White Sox.
go in order.
White Sox.
Still leading by 2. The Browns now send up the heart of their order to face Walsh, Laporte, Austin, and Compton. To get it going for the Browns. Here, Laporte. He'll wait for his pitch. Coming into play, first base for the
White Sox
is Jones. Collins leaves the game. Laporte in the box. Walsh prepared to work. The pitch. High fly ball to center. Bodie moves under it. And Laporte is retired. That's 1. Austin gets set to bat against Walsh. 1 gone. Austin is 0 for 3. Jimmy waits. Walsh gets set to work on him. The delivery from Walsh. It's a ground hugger to short. Tannehill gloves it and easily throws out Austin. That's 2. The next Browns batter is Compton. He's a left-handed batter. Compton is 3 for 3. And he scored a run. Over in the on-deck circle, Wallace stalks Walsh. Walsh takes a quick glance toward the power hitter. Now he looks in at Compton. He stands in. Walsh looking in. And now the pitch. A screaming liner, but right at Jones. He snatches it in midair. That was an atom ball. Browns gone. So the Browns go quietly.
White Sox.
Up
3-1.
The
White Sox
will have McConnell, Tannehill, and Sullivan here in the 8th. McConnell to lead it off for the
White Sox.
He's a left-handed batter. McConnell, 2 for 3. Amby steps up. Clark ready to receive. To the plate. Swung on. Hot smash to Laporte. He dives. He's got it. Throws quickly. In time. And there's 1 away. It's now Tannehill to bat. Powell gets set to work on him. The delivery from Powell. Hard shot to the right side. Black to his right. It's by him. Base hit for Tannehill. Second safety for Tannehill. And that's the White Sox 10th hit. One gone. Tannehill on at first. We have Sullivan to bat for the White Sox. Billy 0 for 3. Right-hander Powell ready. He squares. He brings it home. Bunted toward first. Black feels it. Looks down to second and tosses to the port, covering first for the easy out. A sacrifice for Sullivan. Tannehill moves down to second. One on. Walsh walks up. He bats right. And the fans are giving him a hand. Walsh steps in. Right-hander Powell ready. Powell fires it in. Swung on. Base hit. Down the line to right. Schweitzer gallops for it. He has it. Tannehill is around third. They're waving Tannehill in. Here comes the throw home. Here's a play at the plate. And he's safe ahead of the throw. Walsh holds it first for a single. So Walsh with a ribby single. That was pitcher Walsh who delivered, helping himself. And Chicago increases its lead. This ball game now 4-1. One on, the bottom of the 8th inning. McIntyre walks up. Matty has a brace and 4 trips, and he scored a run. And here comes Browns manager McCoy. He's asking Powell for the ball. On his way to the mound is Brown. So Powell gets his innings. He pitched 7 2/3. The game for Powell, 4 runs, 3 earned on 11 hits, 2 walks. He struck out 2. He's responsible for the runner. He can only lose it. So a solid performance from Powell, but he cannot win this game. For Brown, this is his first appearance. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's looking for 1 out. Brown takes a few warm-up pitches. He's rubbing up the ball. We're ready to go. The batter stands in. Brown looking in at the target. Here's a pitch from Brown. Check swing. Ball 4. And he trots down to first. That was McIntyre's first walk of the season. Jones walking up the bat, an unlikely hero. Brown comes set. The runners take their lead. Now Brown pitches, big swing. But he got under it. Compton drifts over. He's there, and he pulls it in. The half for the White Sox. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2. They add a little padding. The score is 4-1 as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Wallace, Clark, and Black to bat next. To get it going for the Browns. Here, Wallace. He's already delivered 2 hits in the game. Wallace steadies his bat. Sullivan sets up. The pitch. Scorched, but right at Jones. He snatches it in midair, and Wallace barely got out of the box. And that's the first out. We have Clark to bat for the Browns. He bats from the left side. You don't see Nig on much. The Browns have to get busy with the bat. Nig waits. Walsh ready. Walsh brings it home. Grounded hard to Lord. Backhand stab. And it is by him. Base hit. Callahan is in. He'll hold Clark to a single. One away. Clark on first. The next Browns batter is Black, right-hander. Black wants to fight his way aboard somehow. Walsh prepared to work. Browns manager McCoy looking at his score sheet. He's calling on his reserves. It looks like Black will not bat. It's going to be Rowan. He shoulders a bat, walks confidently before the crowd. Johnny will send him up to battle the right-hander. Rowan up there. The crowd's anxious to see Dave take his hacks. His goal must be to get on base. Walsh poised. Walsh brings it to the plate. Chopper back to the mound. Walsh gloves it. He flips to Jones at first for the out. Clark moves to second on the play. That's the second out. Brown is scheduled to hit. We'll have to wait to see if he bats for himself. Here comes Brown to take his cuts. Elmer taking his first at bat of the season. Time's really running out for the Browns. Schweitzer swinging his bat lightly in the on-deck circle. Right-hander Walsh ready. Browns manager McCoy looking at his score sheet. McCoy is taking pitcher Brown out of the game. Katina will bat in his place. Bats right. He shoulders a bat. Heads out. Brown pitched 1/3 of an inning. He leaves with no runs on no hits. Katina comes up the bat. A dependable hitter. Time's really running out for the Browns. Over in the on-deck circle, Schweitzer watches Walsh. Sullivan sets up. Walsh over the offering. A topper out front. Walsh has it. Flips the first, and that does it. The White Sox have won it, spurred on by the disciplined leadership of McCoy. They've won by a score of 4-1. Here's the line for the White Sox. 4 runs on 11 hits, no errors. They lead 10 for the Browns. A run on 10 hits, 1 miscue, and they lead 8. Walsh gets the win, his first. Howell takes the loss, his first. So the White Sox gain a step for the White Sox. Overall, they now stand at 1-0. That puts the wraps on this one. This is WAPBA and Ernie Harwell saying so long from Chicago. Final score, Chicago White Sox 4, St. Louis Browns 1.
All right, guys, that is it from 1911. Thank you for coming in. I want to thank my favorite Irishman, Dan Burke, and Robert RGO Network for hanging out, and for the people that stopped in and out as well, and those of you who catch up later. And hope to have some more baseball on the channel pretty soon. Until the next time, we'll see you around the batting cage. Good night.